There we go. So I've got my resource file open. I've got my drawing open, and I typed DC, and then I can look in the open drawings, and I can find layouts. And look, do you see it right there? There it is. And I just hold my mouse down and I drag it into my drawing, and it just appeared. I'm going to move my design center out of the way now. That just appeared. It's now in this drawing. I just got it from my resource file and put it in here. My piece of paper is there, and it's correct, and it's right, and it's all set up. Okay, and see down here in the bottom, there's the model. And I move over, and there's the one I just put in. That's the key right there. Okay, you need to be able to do that. And so it's from the Design Center, DC. Your resource file is open and it's sitting there. And you can get everything. You can get dim styles, layers, layouts. I mean, everything is all preset for you. So you don't have to do it all. Okay. Yep. So here's what we're going to do. So on this one I told you to use this B size. In the instructions, I said to use this one. So you'll go to your layouts and you'll get your architectural B size. Now, you want to be able to put the right dimensions on, right? So look at all these dimensions. Well, this is a piece of paper, and when you plot your paper, it comes out the size of the paper, right? So it's scale factor 1. That's why I love working on the piece of paper. I don't have to care about anything else. I'm going to take an architectural dim style, scale factor 1, and drop it in here. Because that's going to be the right size on my piece of paper. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the next cool trick. I'm set up now. I got my paper. I got my dim style. And I have it at the right size because I'm going to put this directly on my paper. But now I got to be able to see my object, right? I can't see it. And that's what's called a viewport. I need to view my object. So that's under this layout tab. So see, when I'm on layout, this little blue thing called layout pops up. Watch. I'm going to go back to the model and it goes away. So when you're on your layout, it goes, hey, there's more stuff to look at. And these are viewports. So I want to be able to see my stuff. So I'm going to make a viewport that stretches. Oh, look at that. Everything showed up. Is that so cool? Okay, now, if I click on that line of the viewport, down on the right-hand side, it tells me my scale factor. And 0.034136 does not look like anything you have ever seen before. So I can't use that. That's a stupid one, right? So I need to click on this tiny little arrow. And I think I said that it was 1/4 inch equals a foot. Click. Oh, look at that. Is that perfect now? And now you can lock it in place so you don't accidentally change it later on. Okay, now it's ready to go. You're ready to go. So if you go to the Annotate tab, look, you can choose Architectural Scale Factor 1 because it's in the drawing now. You can say, oh, I want it on the dimension layer. And you can just start doing it. And look, it's the right size. It shows up on your paper properly. Right? And then I gave you some hints about then you do the outside dimensions. Right. I think, once you get this down, it's like, oh, I got it. What was that? Now, it can be problematical that if you accidentally get it can be a problem that sometimes it wants to catch the dimension. Like if I dimension from, like here to here, because I caught the piece of paper. So what I do is I always try to get like endpoint set up. And then I hover over the wall. See how I'm touching the wall? Then I know that it's getting the wall and not some weird part of my dimension. I want to make sure that I'm getting the wall. So just because if it comes out and it's going, it's not getting the part I want, it's because you're not actually catching the wall. Okay, you're catching one of these pieces of the dimension itself. Because if I catch the dimension itself, it's going to think I'm on the piece of paper. See, I've got a setting in here that says ignore the paper and go find the part. Okay, but if you pick something that's on the piece of paper, you're going to dimension the paper. Okay, so this is what's cool. You've got a piece of paper that your title block is on, and this is on, but look, your model is clean. You can use it over and over and over, different scales. I can turn things on, I can turn things off. Check this out. If I say, let me say I want to adjust something in here, I don't want to see the furniture. Or no, I don't want to see these room blocks. I can go up here and I can edit in the viewport, just in the viewport, turn off the room tags. But look, they're still there. So this is just a way of managing your drawing. Right. Right. And then you started trying to measure it, right? And you get this teeny tiny word. It's like, I can't see that. Right. Now, if you know that this is 1/4 inch equals a foot, that's scale factor 48, you could, if you wanted to, come in here and fix this up and go somewhere in here. Hold on a sec. It's in here somewhere. You could go in here, dim scale 48. You could fix it. No, I got the wrong one. So anyway, but it's hard to do. You want to be on the piece of paper. These want to be on the piece of paper. Yeah, yeah. And that's the whole trick. Now, not every architect does that. Some architects do want the annotations in here. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's good. They have a system. They can copy things all over the place. But in general now, you don't want those dimensions in there. You just want a nice, clean drawing. Right? So that's what you want to do. Okay? And all of them are going to be like that. When you do the interior design, it'll be the same thing. You'll bring this in, you'll make a viewport, you'll put your annotations on the piece of paper. Cool? No, right. Yeah, right. But are your drawings all done? Are the models? Okay, then this will only take you probably an hour. If now it'll only take you an hour, right? Because you're going to use, you know, architectural scale factor 1 or decimal. You're always going to, or fractional. You're always going to use, you know, like fractional is kind of that's I think what you use on the oops, let me come back here. Annotate. Now if you say, oh, let me use fractional, I think that's the one you use on interior design. Okay? Because it was all in fractions. It was like 24 and 1/16 or 25 and something something, right? So your interior design is fractional. The landscape is architectural. And the architecture, the floor plan, and the roof are architectural. And they're all just a scale factor 1. Just that's the one you use. And you do your drawing in the model. And this is on your piece of paper. There you go. I think you'll just nail it. I think that'll be it. Right. Well, and so look, this is sort of how it works, right? If you were going to draw this on the piece of paper, you would measure out your paper, you would measure this out, and you would go, okay, what scale do I use to make this fit on my paper? And so that's what you do with this viewport. You go, what scale will make this fit on my paper? So it's actually easier because I don't have to convert anything. I drew it. I draw it full scale, always full scale, always full scale. And then I have to go, okay, what scale do I need to fit it on my paper? Okay. Right. So it's the same thing. It's just that you already drew it. Now, instead of shrinking it down as you go, right, you would use a ruler with the scale on it, and you would know it was 8 feet. So you'd stick your rule up there, and you would use your 1/4 inch equals a foot. Well, you probably use metric, but right, but and you would use your scale, and you would draw 8 feet on your scale. Right? We don't do that. We draw full scale, always, 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 full scale. And then we go, how much do I shrink it to make it fit on my piece of paper? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. But see, if I had told that to somebody who had not done standard drafting, it would make no sense. Right? But since you've done standard drafting, it makes sense. And then the other beauty is, of course, what would happen if you wanted 3 or 4 different views of this? You'd have to go to a new sheet of paper and draw it over again, right? Well, I'm just going to make a copy of it. And I've got another copy of it that I can, I can take off these dimensions and put on my wall dimensions. Maybe now I'm just going to do my interior wall dimensions. Right? And look, I haven't ruined my model at all. I can use it over and over and over again. Maybe I want to make sure that there's room here for a wheelchair. Right? So I'll put my wheelchair circle in here, but I'll put it on furniture layer or something like that. Okay. So I can have that there, but then if I don't want to see my furniture, watch, I'll go to the model and I'll turn my furniture off. This should be on the furniture layer. And now I don't see it. So it really gives me the ability to do, and this makes sense, right? I don't want to see my framer who's going to build the walls does not want to see my furniture. Who wants to see the furniture? Yeah, just the client, right? And then they're going to want to see that things fit and they work and that everything's okay. And you can put your notes on here. You're going to say, wheelchair, ADA, which is American Disability Act, accessible, right? And I'm not messing this up. And so that's why we do it this way. I can do, okay, I got enough room. Everything's got space. They can get in, they can get over here. This one will be interesting to see if I have enough room for the toilet. Right? If I put a toilet, where will I put it? Well, I'll obviously have enough room if I put the toilet here because they can come in here and they can spin around. So if I put the toilet here and the lavatory here, there's obviously going to be enough room. Or even if I put the toilet here, not a very good spot right here. Somebody opens that door and looks straight at you. not very good. This is a much this is a much better place, even if you put a small privacy partition there, right? So you see how it all goes, right? You can put text here. So that's why we use the piece of paper, and I just keep creating new piece of paper, new piece of paper, new piece of paper, new piece of paper, new piece of paper. Now there are some people that just go, well, who cares? I'll just make a copy. I'll just make a copy, right? Well, what happens if I need to move this wall? What happens if I did that? It didn't correct itself over here. But it did in all of mine. Did in every single one of mine. That's... Yeah. Now, the bad part is that reduces the number of drafters that are needed. So in a way that's not good because it takes jobs away. But you're one of the ones that knows how to do it. So you'll have the job. It'll be easy for you, right? And so that's why we want to do that. Yep, well that's it. And that's just a small thing. Now that you've seen it, you practice it for a couple hours, you'll be set. Right. Well, yeah, just don't do it until Friday or Thursday afternoon. Who cares? You'll do it whenever. This week is not super heavy duty. If you want to do what I show you on this one in 2D AutoCAD, you'll see I put a thing up for it, and you're doing fine. Just get the practice in that you can and play with it, and you'll do good. Okay? Yep. Okay. There you go. I think you're set. Okay, cool. Okay, then I'll nothing easy. It never is, man.